Broadcasting live from the Business RadioX studios in Atlanta, Georgia, it's time for Atlanta Business Radio. Brought to you by OnPay, Atlanta's new standard in payroll. Now, here's your host.
Lee Cantor here at another episode of Atlanta Business Radio, but this is a very special one because these are the ones we do with partnering with GSU E&I program at Georgia State University. And today on the show, we have Daniel Hadgu and Mike Gizachew with EthioPay. Welcome, guys.
Thank you. It's
Thanks
great
for
to be
having
here.
us.
Well, before we get too far into things, tell us about EthioPay. How are you serving folks?
Yeah, so EthioPay is our SaaS platform that allows us to connect Ethiopian diasporas in the United States to Ethiopians in Ethiopia. And we will directly allow users to invest in the U.S. capital markets, directly pay bills, transfer funds, and reload and redistribute airtime minutes and data.
So this helps folks in Africa kind of get money in and out of Africa from the United States, from their relatives or friends or family?
Yeah, so we will say predominantly there, but as well as the diasporas here in the United States. We're just trying to really kind of be the bridge that allows individuals to be able to support financially their loved ones in Ethiopia due to a lack of convenience, affordable options, or just overall transparency.
So how is it being done now? How are they dealing with it?
Yeah, so I'll say right now, at least the way it used to be, people would go to these long manual places like Western Union. My mother and I, and even Michael, he used to do it as well. You would have to stand in these lines. And so really for my mom, especially was the pain in her knee, it was especially painful for her to stand in those long lines. And then you would have to deal with the individuals, the agents at the, respected entity like Western Union, fill out the slip and then they ship it over. But that whole process can take close to an hour. And especially with your busy day or with pain your knee, it just makes it that much more painful to kind of go through. And so that's why we kind of came up with just a centralized platform that allows individuals to do it through a web application or mobile application. So you can do it from the click of a finger.
So you could do it from your house and it will go to the house of the person in Ethiopia?
Yeah, so either you can transfer through peer-to-peer and send it directly to the individual's wallet, or something that we're bringing, which is a unique feature, is we're partnering up in the private sector and public sector. So instead of us just giving the recipient the money directly, you just tell us what your bill is, give us your account number, and we can just pay your bill.
Oh, so like if they have a power bill or, any type of bill in their home, you can pay it here from America?
100%. And so that just allows, that the individual bills get paid. So you get the confirmation, the statement, and it allows just for a more seamless process. And
then I would imagine the bill company doesn't care. They're happy to have it paid. They don't care who's paying it, right?
100%. At the end of the day, they just want to make sure that they're getting paid each month. And I think when they can get it directly from the individuals that have the funds, because majority of the times the individuals that pay it in Ethiopia are getting the funds from a diaspora such as Michael or myself. So it just makes the process easier for us to pay it directly for them.
Now, at what stage are you at in this adventure?
Yeah, so we're pre-seed but post-product. To the point that I said, right now we're currently on a fundraising campaign to be able to raise our seed fund. However, we already have built out the first phase of our project, which is available on the web-based application and mobile application. So you can find it in the iOS store or in, the Google store as well. And so right now we're just trying to kind of gain a little bit more traction so that we can show a little bit more solidity and to our customers and to the individuals we're raising the capital from.
So is it possible right now, if I had a relative in Ethiopia, that I could pay a bill today?
From a technological standpoint, yes, the app does work and you could. However, it's not that simple. I think when you're dealing with mobile money, legalities and regulatory things play a factor. So doing your due diligence on your customers through KYC, AML, SARS, things of that sort. And so right now we've been consulting with various amount of law firms to make sure that we have all that together before we officially launch on the platforms and allow people to do that.
Now, could I send money directly to someone in Ethiopia?
You would be able to, yes. That would be one of the features that we would have on our platform, where you can send money over there and have instant deposit into their wallet. Yes.
So is that available now, or is that going through the same regulation?
That's still going through the same regulations when you're dealing with, the moving of money, mobile money, things of that sorts.
Okay, so anytime you're moving money, I guess internationally, then there's more regulations involved.
Yeah. So like here in the States, you have your money transferring licenses and things of that sort. But then even in Ethiopia, there's a license that you need for any mobile money movement of things. And so, we're kind of dealing with the legal side of both of those, whether it's domestically or internationally.
But you have the technology to transfer the funds. It's just all this regulations is kind of, you want to make sure that you're doing that all perfectly legit, so everybody feels comfortable with the transaction.
100%. To that point that you just said, on the technical side of things are up and running and ready to go.
So, like right now, could you use your? Could I pay you something right now if I wanted to, like with your system, or it only works internationally?
No, you can do it here as well. And so we're trying to build a ecosystem of sorts, and offering a variety of products, not just to kind of do diasporas in the States to Ethiopians in Ethiopia, but we want to even have user engagement in the States. So similarly to Venmo or a Cash App where you can do peer-to-peer transactions, that's something that you would be able to do as well on our platform.
Now, what was the kind of I heard that you said that this was a pain your mom was having, or you felt there was a better way to do it based on what your mom was struggling with. That's where the idea kind of started, I guess. But how did you move from having that idea to actually now having kind of a working app, and then obviously now build a business around that concept?
Yeah, and I think even Michael would have a better say at this. The pain with my mother and her knee, that was my reason for joining on. But even Michael, I think the genesis of EthioPay came from his visit to Ethiopia. So, Mike, if you want to jump in and tackle that question.
Yeah. So to add on to what Daniel was saying, it essentially came from real life situations where we personally experienced the hardships of trying to financially assist or support loved ones in Ethiopia. And, there were stages for EthioPay. It initially started off as a web browser, a web-based application. And from there, we transformed it into a mobile application, understanding the market over there. There were way more mobile phones available to people than actual computers. So we just tried to match the product with the market and apply it in that sense where we wanted to be as accessible as possible for our market.
And then once you started kind of playing around in this space, is that when you realized, hey, there's a lot more regulation? It's not just technology. There's a lot of kind of regulatory hoops I'm going to have to jump through. I better get some expert help here.
Yeah, you hit absolutely right. There's more regulatory. I guess what I'm trying to say is that the regulatory side is a little more complicated than the technology side. Because like you said, we're talking about moving money across international borders, and not just from America to Ethiopia, but obviously across other markets as well, where we want to offer our services. So there's Ethiopians that live all around the world, not just in America, and we're trying to service all of them. So we want to make sure, and with money, obviously it being such a serious matter when it comes to being able to track it, every government wants to make sure that we're doing it by the books, because there's so many other things that can be involved with moving money around if you're not compliant in all their rules.
So now, how did kind of the GSU ENI program help you with moving this from idea to an actual, product?
Yeah, so I'll say, when we joined ENI, we already kind of had a product built out, but with the funding that they were able to provide us, and with the mentorship that they, constantly giving us, it allowed us to kind of scale to the next level. So with the funds, we were able to, start phase 2 of our, technology application. And then in terms of the mentorship, we've been getting, it kind of gave us a perspective on things that we didn't necessarily think of, especially with these seasoned veterans in the entrepreneurship ecosystem. So it kind of gave us value on both sides.
Now, have they helped you kind of with the fundraising? Because, raising funds is a totally different business than, building an app or even getting the regulatory issues taken care of.
Yeah, so I think what they're doing, keeping the end goal in mind, my dad always says is, the end goal is demo day. And I think they've been prepping us from, the beginning of the Main Street program up until this point and leading to demo day to be able to be ready to pitch to investors and have the opportunity to get that exposure. So I would say, yes, they have been contributing through this, breeding us and making sure that we have the right store, we have the right material, and then we have FaceTime with these investors.
Now, what's the most rewarding part of this adventure for you guys?
Yeah, so I think it's just the journey itself. I think that, just being able to kind of start from ideology and, being able to get it to where we're going right now and having people believe in us and allowing us to join the program and, keep on scaling. I think that's been the most rewarding thing to me. So having people buy into your story and walk in this journey with you.
Now, has it been frustrating having a product that works and not being able to use it to see if, the public will buy into it?
It could be a little bit, but to the point, it's just part of the process. So I think when you're, that in the back of your mind that it's part of the process. A lot of people I had, great ideas and they had to go through the journey. Then it kind of humbles you and just lets you know that you're on the right track. Just keep on moving forward.
Now, any advice for other maybe students in college or folks that are considering being an entrepreneur rather than go the more conventional route of getting a job and working somewhere?
Yeah, I'll say just dream big. I think honestly, the only barriers that are here in our everyday lives are the artificial barriers that we put on ourselves. I think if you, I'm full believer of like manifestation and daily affirmation and rooting for yourself. So I think honestly, as long as you can dream big, you write it down, be vocal about it, speak it into existence. Anything and everything is possible. So, take big chances.
Now, tell me about the folks, your peers. Do they have that same philosophy, or are they kind of more conservative in taking a more, I don't want to say safer, because in today's world, any job you think you have, you may not have. So, the route, the more conventional route.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'll say that, there's different groups of friends. And so, I have a group of colleagues that, work, the Wall Street job or the corporate job, and that's perfectly okay. My parents done it. I done it. So that's fine. But I think there's another group of people that, have bigger aspirations for themselves. And we have that group of friends too. So it's kind of just having different groups of people that have different ideologies and different beliefs. And you want to be able to hang out around them because you are who you hang out around. And I think most recently I've been hanging out around a lot more entrepreneurs.
And if somebody wants to learn more about your venture, I would imagine right now you're open to having conversations about funding. You're open to having conversations about help with the regulatory. If somebody wants to learn more about your product and service, is there a website that exists right now that maybe they can get on a wait list or maybe contact you?
Yeah, 100%. So you can connect with us on our website, which is EthioPayCenter.com. You can also connect with Michael and myself through our email. So for me, it's Daniel@EthioPayCenter.com, and Michael, it's Michael@EthioPayCenter.com. And you can also connect with us on LinkedIn as well, which is our full name as well. And we're more than happy to have discussions, whether it's funding, everyday advice, or just an overall good conversation.
Well, congratulations on all the success. You should be very proud of yourself. You're doing important work, and we appreciate you.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate that.
All right, this is Lee Cantor. We will see you all next time on GSU ENI Radio.